time for the last cut of the day, last carcass of the day, and we want to show you a special cut today. This is called, actually, let's just follow along. We're going to show you. This is called the hanger steak, also known as the butcher's cut or the hanging tenderloin. It's basically one steak that attaches to the diaphragm or the upper belly. And what this does, similar to the skirt steak, is this is just a muscle that controls the diaphragm inside the animal's belly. But the reason why it's known as a butcher's cut or a hanging tenderloin is it's very tender. And a lot of butchers, they simply wouldn't offer this for sale because it was so delicious, they kept it for themselves. So we're gonna break this carcass. Seth's gonna take this out and trim it up. And we're going to show you just, actually one side's a little bit longer than the other side, but we're gonna trim it up. It's got an inedible membrane in the middle. We're gonna show you how to trim that out of there. And then of course we're gonna cook it. So, but we wanted to show you as displayed right here in the carcass, right from the butcher, from the slaughter floor, when we butchered this, and this has been dry aging now for 13 days. It's hanging right here, literally the hanger steak. The butcher's favorite cut. Very beefy flavor, tender, juicy steak. So let's get it cut. It's really important how this is cooked. So we're of course going to take it through the cook process as well. This is one of our 100% grass-fed carcasses, raised locally, just 12 miles down the road. Think you can handle that, big fella?
I think so.
Let's get it out on the floor, and we'll show you how to trim out a hanger steak. Scott showed you where the hanger steak was located. I'm going to show you how we pull it and how we trim it. So I'm just going to take my knife right here up against this vertebrae, cutting that tendon, that connective tissue, and simply removing that hanger. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start trimming this up. And as Scott mentioned, there's one side that's a little bit longer and thicker than the other. But some of this stuff you can start by peeling with your fingers as well. And keep in mind that we did leave this hanging inside the animal for the duration of the dry aging, which was about 13 days on this grass-fed beef. So typically when you would buy this in the store, it's not going to be dried out as much as this because it's going to have been in a vacuum sealed bag. So just keep in mind that if this is, looks a little bit more dried out than what you're used to seeing, it's because it was hanging inside that half the entire time, so the air had a chance to get to it and just dry this outside out a little bit. But we think it'll enhance the flavor, and that's what we wanted to do to achieve leaving it inside that animal so we could show you exactly where it came from. So I'm just going to use my hands, and usually when you buy this in a package, it's still going to have all this membrane and connective tissue and sinews on there, so pretty much the same principle when you go to trimming. Now you can certainly remove as much of this external fat and gristle as you wish. Just remember that when you try to bite through gristle, it's not a very pleasant experience. So we're going to try to remove as much of that external gristle as we can. Like mentioned, most of it is just simply by pulling it off by hand. Grass-fed beef, it's not going to be super fat. You can see that this does have some fat in it. Muscle fibers running this way. This is what makes it such a very tasteful piece of meat, since it does have that marbling inside those fibers. So now that we have it to this point here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start up here at this end against this tendon. It has this real thick piece of tendon that runs right through the center of this hanger steak. So I'm just going to slowly work my knife down the center, removing one side, and then you can take this and you can flip this piece over using that sort of that fish fillet method down this side. real nice clean piece, removing that gristle and that sinew right out of the center. Now what I will do is I'm going to go ahead and take these, and like I said, you can trim as much of this off of here as you'd like. The main thing is just getting that thick piece of gristle off there. Now what I'm going to do is simply cut this in half. This one, it has a kind of a natural separation right here on the end. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that piece. We'll make that a separate steak. And then here again, taking off just a little bit of fat, we're going to go ahead and cut this one in half, which this is going to leave us with real nice 5 steak pieces of hanger steak. Now keep in mind, this is grass-fed beef like mentioned, so these are smaller than you would normally see if you went to the grocery store, you bought conventional grain-fed beef. Keep that in mind. These are going to be smaller. This is a smaller frame carcass. That's why we have smaller pieces. So, very simple process. You buy hanger steak. Don't let it be intimidating. A good knife. Use that practice right there to seam it out, trim it up, and I can guarantee you on the grill, once you serve these, you are going to be very, very impressed with the flavor and the tenderness. At this point, we are going to get these seasoned up with some Bearded Butcher Blend seasonings, and we're going to get them on the grill, and we're going to give them a sample. So follow along. I don't know if you guys have ever seen one of these. It's called a Looft Lighter. You can find them on Amazon. We'll throw in a link. Pretty handy little tool. Just hold it down here by the charcoal, push the button, works like a hair dryer. Ignites on the end and blows air into their charcoal, and it's a pretty nifty way to light your coals. We're about 40 seconds in, creeping up on maybe 50 seconds to a minute, and you can see we've already got fire. I'm gonna use some hickory wood chunks to grill up these hanger steaks. I'm just gonna get a couple nice chunks, place them around the charcoal bed, just like that. Doesn't take a lot. We have about 5 of them in there. And then didn't pre-soak them or anything like that. We're just gonna put them right on top of the coals, get some of that nice hickory smoke flavor as we're grilling these hanger steaks up. The smokes are rolling. We're gonna get our grate on there. Clean it off a bit. So I want to get the temperature of this grill up to your normal, like your steak grilling temperature. So somewhere in that 350 range. And then once we get it up to that temp, we are going to grill these hanger steaks pretty much just like you would a ribeye or a strip along those lines.
What are we seasoning with today, Seth?
All right, so we talked about this morning, and Scott and I, we decided, we're like, you know what, let's use the black in the original. This is our 6-bottle variety pack. So it has original black, Chipotle, Cajun, Hollywood Hot, all in this variety pack. However, beardedbutchers.com, you can customize this however you want. So if you find some that you like better than others, that sort of thing, you can customize it to your liking. But today, we're going to use the black and the original. It's going to be a pretty simple process. I'm just going to use a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. I'm just going to put it on top of these, rub it in a little bit, nice coating. That seasoning to stick to that steak real nice. Now, I need to mention that the other day we cut this hanger steak right here. So you saw us cut the hanger steak, you saw us prep the hanger steak. I decided to get a couple more just because I know we're going to have some hungry mouths to feed around here, and one simply wouldn't be enough. Going to start with the original. We're going to want a nice liberal coating on all sides. Just get these seasoned up real nice. You can see the egg over here. It's getting nice and hot. I think by the time we get done seasoning these, the temperature of our grill is going to be just about perfect to throw these on there and get them cooked up. So a nice liberal coating like that. I think those are ready. Now we're going to switch to the black. Our black has the coffee in it and molasses. It's a little windy out here. I have to make sure I don't lose most of it. You can see the tint has a darker tint, and the longer you leave this sit on here, it's going to absorb some of that moisture out of the meat, and it actually will turn slightly black. And that's the reason why we named it black, because of, one, the coffee, but two, when you use it, it turns black and it creates a really, really nice black bark on whatever you're smoking. So whether you're doing briskets or pork butts or ribs or, you know, whatever you might be cooking, it just makes a really nice bark on there. So even though the seasoning doesn't come out of the bottle black, that's why we named it black, because of that coffee and the way it looks on the product. Big Green Egg is pegged right at 350 degrees. Before I put these steaks on, I want to mention this just real quick. We have the bucket available on our website. So if you get the 4-pound bucket, it comes with a free shaker. It's on the website. Use the bucket to fill the shaker. Also, we now have the refill bag for the bucket as well on the website. So just want to touch on that real quick. Now, let's go ahead and let's just get the steaks on the grill. Got that nice smoke rolling. Got that hickory wood chunks. So let's just go ahead and place these right on our grill. They're pretty thick, so we're gonna have to watch these real close. We are gonna want to flip them a decent amount, and we only want to take these to an internal temp of about 125. So we certainly don't want to overcook these. Got to keep my different flavors separate. So you can see these are the black seasoned. These over here are the original. So let's go ahead and watch our temps, and we're just going to cook these up like you would a ribeye or strip steak. Looking pretty tasty.
Not bad over here.
I'm just going to move these around so I can see where I have a hot spot on my grill, so I'll just move them around a little bit. Making sure that I don't get the black and the original confused where they're placed. Smelling good. We have met temp. That one said 127. I don't want to go any more than that. Those are the original. And these are the black. Woo! Those are smelling fantastic. We're gonna let them rest for a minute. Hey.
I've been working. Where have you been?
Me too.
So, original seasoned, black seasoned.
I can just
no. We gotta let them rest.
Corey's here.
So we gotta let these rest, and then we're gonna slice them and sample them.
Look in the window.
Hi.
You can always catch Sean peeking over your shoulder, looking out a window.
Those look delicious. All right, let's unload this truck and then we'll eat.
All right.
You got to tell me what we got, or
time-
should I guess?
It's time to sample. Look at all that juice. Get in here, Dan. Someone asked in or mentioned in our last YouTube video when we introduced Dan that they wanted more of Dan. So here's Dan.
More Dan.
More Dan.
Dan has got our knives coming back in stock very
Yes.
soon.
This knife, the Victorinox 6-inch semi-stiff, Dan has them ordered. They will be in stock very, very soon. So,
And also, the beef came from Daniel's farm. His childhood farm is where the beef tender came from.
so
All true facts.
all true facts. Which one do you want to start with, and can you pick which one is which?
Well, by flavor or speed or like
I'm gonna
beef
I'm
or
gonna-
what?
no,
I
I'm
can
gonna-
tell you that these got to be the grain-fed.
Correct. These are the grass-fed.
Yep.
But I'm going to have you decipher which flavor when you try it.
I can do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm just going to go start with this one. We're going to go against the grain, just like this. Looks pretty juicy to me. So just go ahead and get one and give it a shot.
I'm telling you what Bearded Butcher flavors on
Yeah.
here.
There you go, Dan.
Original. Wow. That's delicious. So tender and juicy. Was I correct?
You were correct.
Man,
Nothing wrong there, is there?
that's extremely tender.
Now that we sampled that one, let's go with this one.
Nice job on the cooking, Seth.
Thank you. I tried really, really hard to make sure that I didn't overcook it, because I knew that with hanger steak, you don't want to get it above 125, 130, so.
This is black.
Yep.
That's delicious. These have like a really nice, like, look how we see those fibers in there, and it would appear that it would be tough, but it's not tough at all. You've had hanger steak before, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is this the best you've ever had?
Yeah, definitely.
If somebody didn't tell
There's
you,
only one answer to that question.
if somebody didn't tell you, they could pass this off to you as
Brisket.
Yeah, with the texture is nearly the same.
Texture of brisket, but the tenderness of tenderloin.
Yeah, texture of brisket, but the tenderness of filet.
With big time flavor. You boys want a bite?
Yeah.
Yeah, he says. Jump on in here.
Hop on there and get some.
Where's the rest of the gang? It's a busy afternoon here at White Feather. I was selling grill. Dan was coming in for a meeting. We got a truck coming in, but
We wanted to get a hanger steak
Let's just-
video done because people kept asking for it. So we wanted to show you,
and we wanted to eat some.
of course, we wanted to show you where on the carcass it comes from, how you trim it, and how we grill it. So there you have it. And I'd say it was definitely a success.
Smash it, Seth. Wonderful job on the cooking.
Thank you.
Hope you enjoyed the video. As always, we want to remind you, for all your butchering and cooking tips, come see the Bearded Butchers on YouTube and other platforms.
Don't forget to subscribe. We just hit 600,000 subscribers on YouTube. Appreciate every single one of you. We've got a bunch of more videos planned. So you have to understand, we're filming these videos during our processing days. You know, we process this morning, we pop outside, we do these videos in the afternoon. So we achieve that when we can. So thanks for being patient with us. And don't forget, follow us on all the other social media channels that we have: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, you know the deal. And until next time, see ya.
See ya.